Record. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mike Armstrong podcast show. This afternoon, I'm joined by Austin O'Keefe, who's the musician with nutrition, and we're going to have a little chat about his business and life, and just take it from there, really. How are you doing today, Austin? You okay?
I'm doing fantastic, as you and some people might say outstanding. So yeah, really in good mood as always. And thanks for having me on your show today.
No problem. Thanks for coming on. And a usual place I start, because it's the big thing of the moment, is lockdown. You know, obviously, lockdown's affected a lot of different business people and entrepreneurs in different ways. Just wanted to ask you how you found the lockdown and if you've done anything to pivot during these times.
Well, nothing major for me has changed during the day, but on the music end, I've 35 years gigging. So, I've had to cancel a lot of gigs over the summer. So I've missed out a lot with that. But I am home-based, so being at home doing business, it didn't change much for me. Obviously, when it was a real lockdown, moving around was a problem. So like everyone else, you go online and you promote online and do Zoom calls like we're on, and the other ones as well to promote your business that way. So it affected me a little bit, I suppose, but not during the day, not my daytime nutrition business. Actually in May it went up. The sales went up because we had a promotion on. So it's steady enough for me all through the time. But I got healthier because I started walking nearly every day. So I lost a few kilos as well. So pretty happy with that, feeling even better than I was before. So yeah, it's not too bad.
Good. Yeah, and I think, people have either gone one way or the other in the lockdown, haven't they, with the exercise? They've either been comfort eating and, bored at home all the time and turn into the fridge, or they've actually used the time to get out and exercise and get themselves healthy.
Again, yeah, it's a lot of attitude. You could have the wrong attitude and just sit at home and put on the weight and watch TV and do nothing. Or you make it, you say, right, this is the time that I have more time to do things. So you make the most of your time and you learn something new. Maybe you study something new. I've been studying more Spanish because I always wanted to perfect Spanish. So in my freer time, I started to study Spanish and learn more about personal development and promote more online. And then decided to get more active as well. So it's all about attitudes and making the most of a certain time. And yes, it has affected a lot of people mentally in a bad way. So a lot of these people need to really find someone to help them improve in personal development and find ways out of the rut that they might be in. It can be done, and it's a matter of changing what's between the years.
Yeah, definitely. I'm somebody, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. And, I thought, well, there's a killer virus out there. If there's not a time to get fit now, then when's the time to get fit, And so I've been working out, pretty much every day since the beginning of lockdown. And as well as that, I had excuses before that because I was always busy building my business. But now I thought, well, in lockdown, there's no better time to actually you can't say I haven't got enough time because you've just got extra time because you're not traveling anywhere anymore,
Yeah, well, the thing about the virus is that really it doesn't kill people. It's the body's reaction to the virus that can kill people because the virus gets into the lungs and then the body reacts to that, overreacts and floods the lungs with all this mucus and all, which means you can't breathe properly, so they need ventilators. If you have a functioning immune system, it can help you. So the best way to you might get the virus, but the best way not to get it seriously and affect you seriously is to be healthy. And that includes nutrition, it includes being fit, includes having a positive attitude. So yeah, there's not much you can do about the virus except obviously stay your distance and wash your hands and all that. But if you do get the virus, you try and be healthy and strong so that it won't affect you as badly as some people, because the people that died usually had an underlying condition, which meant they had health issues before. So it's all about being healthy, and we'll all survive it.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And yeah, with regards to that, obviously health's a big thing that you do, and obviously the music as well. Which come first?
Well, the music came first. I mean, I was writing songs when I was 15. That's a long, long time ago. So I've always done music. I was never mad into nutrition, but what happened was about 10 years ago, somebody said online he saw this special coffee, and it looks like a good business opportunity. So I'm a very skeptical person about a lot of things. So I had to try it first. So the guy that was the founder of the company was in Limerick in Ireland back 10 years ago. And I went down to meet him and tried the coffee. And I couldn't believe on the way home from Limerick to Dublin, I felt great. I just felt alert. I felt positive. And I thought, well, could this be the coffee or what is it? And then I got some supplements as well. And between the whole lot, I was just every day I had a lot more energy. I was waking up bright and sharp. I could remember things better. Everything was clearer and more energetic. So I thought, Jesus, really something there. So that's the first time I really got interested in nutrition was that. So I thought, there's things you can take into your body that can make a difference. And then I said, well, if it can make a difference to me, it can make a difference to other people. So I said, right, I'll start a business. That was 10 years ago. So I only in the last 10 years got more into nutrition and why people get illnesses, why people die younger, all that sort of thing. I'm studying it more and more. It's a fascinating subject, and it's an important subject because we all want to live longer. I'm sure, but some people have mental problems that they mightn't, but most people want to live longer, and we should always try and find ways to do that. And nutrition is one, exercise and lots of other things are the other way. So my focus is to get people to take things that are better for them and reduce the things that are bad for them. Simple policy.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So the chap who started your business is Irish, isn't it? Do you want to tell a little bit about the business and about how it started and how it's grown now and all the rest of that?
The business I'm in now is it's a Malaysian company, 27 years on the road, started by a guy who was an engineer. And somebody some farmers gave him this mushroom. They said, this is a fantastic mushroom for serious illnesses. And his father was a herbalist, so he just got a little bit interested, and he found a way of cultivating and producing the mushroom that you don't lose any of the nutrients in it. And then he said, Jesus, there could be a market for this. So he set up part-time, he was still working as an engineer, set up a little factory producing them into capsules and getting great testimonials. And he just one day decided, will I stay in my job or will I do this full-time? And he wasn't making a huge amount in the nutrition, but he said, this is my passion. And he left his job and took the crazy plunge into doing this. That was 27 years ago. He had a dream of bringing this nutrition, these supplements all over the world, and people laughed at him. And but he's kept to his goal. He didn't mind the negativity. And from a little office in Malaysia 27 years ago, it's now a $1.2 billion company in 100 countries around the world. People drinking his coffee, taking his supplements, and feeling the difference. And he's got it to lots of other areas like skincare as well. So a huge range of products that are beneficial to a lot of people. 10 million members now around the world. Only happened 2 weeks ago. So huge success story from him. Yes. And because of the success, I was inspired to write a song about him. And I sent the song to the owner of the company, and he liked it so much, he invited me over to Malaysia for the 25th anniversary 2 years ago of the company to sing the song in front of 3,000 people. So I got a free holiday with my song and sang it to 3,000, and it went down really well. And I'm nearly 10,000 views now on YouTube on the video for the song. So that's where the music and the nutrition came together 2 years ago. And I don't believe in these vision things, but actually I had a vision of me being on stage in a huge auditorium talking to thousands of people about DXN. And I had a separate vision of singing one of my songs to 3,000 or 4,000 people in a huge auditorium. And just the two separate visions came together as one, where I was on stage talking about the song and then singing the song. So it's amazing, the two separate visions coming together. So that's me.
Well, you said you don't believe in that, but maybe you should start believing that. I do believe in that. I do believe it. If you visualize things, they're more likely to happen.
I did, well, I should have said I didn't.
Yeah, you didn't.
Before that, I was skeptical about these, the secret, and
Yeah.
that if you visualize and imagine things, it will come true. But I put it out there. I actually said it at an event. I want to stand in front of 5,000 people and speak about nutrition, the company DXN, and a few months later it happened. So
Yeah.
you have to spread it out. So I have a new goal of presenting about in the company DXN in South America next year, speaking in Spanish. That's my new goal. I put it out there to 3,000 people 2 days ago. So it's out there and I have to do it now. So I want to stand up in front of thousands of people in Peru and Bolivia and just talk in Spanish about my little story. So I'm studying Spanish to get that right, and hopefully I'll be invited over there to do that.
Yeah, well, you should, I want to get on to Necker Island at some point with Richard Branson, because I've always admired him since I was about 11. And, if there's somebody in your life that you admire, you want to write him a song, and then that could be that could be your way into to all of these opportunities. Like, write somebody a song and off you go.
Yeah, something like a virgin or something. Yeah, I might write some sort of song like that. Yeah, I think people that went to Necker Island. Yeah, I remember somebody mentioned that they were on
Yeah,
Necker Island.
Paul and Tracy, friends of mine, they've been visualizing doing business with Richard Branson. And they actually, I was at a networking event a couple of years ago, and they said after getting Lord Sugar and Grant Cardone to come to their expo, which was, a big coup for them, they then put it out there in a networking event one day saying, I'm just going to put it out there. We want to work with Richard Branson. And then they ended up, doing a couple of events last year with Richard Branson. One was a party, for I think it was like a pro-am sort of golf and tennis tournament, which Richard holds on the island, So I had an opportunity. I could have gone to see Richard Branson on Necker Island, which is something I've always wanted to do. But it was, it was quite pricey, the tickets, and I just couldn't justify it at that time.
Yes,
But
so you have to find a way.
They're doing another event Christmas this year, December, and then they were supposed to be doing a Richard Branson birthday party trip in July on the launch of the new Virgin cruise ship, which has just been delayed now because of coronavirus. It's moving to next year. So I don't know if I'm going to be in a position to do the Christmas one, but I could be. But if I'm not, I definitely, working on trying to get there for next year. No?
Absolutely, we all have to have a vision. If you don't have a vision, I suppose you're going to stay where you are. So yeah, it's important to have those goals to aim for.
Yeah, some people, with things like The Secret now, some people don't understand the psychology of it, because it's not just, if you visualize it, it'll happen. It's just, if you visualize it and want it, you let your subconscious know, and your subconscious is more likely to do something to make it happen. So it's a natural phenomenon, really. It's a psychological, it's how the brain works, So
yes, it's not just the visual, and you have to do it regularly. Of course, you have to visualize it every day if you can, and
of course,
so that your mind is focused on that, and it'll guide your subconscious every day to do a little bit more to get to that goal. Yeah.
Yeah,
or there might be people.
I've got a strategy at the moment which is similar to yours, if you like. Like with yours, if you want to make something happen, you can write a song and then you can listen to it. And then if that's your dream, you're constantly reinforcing that dream to your psychology, if you like. So you can be more likely to make that happen. And I've got a strategy where, if, for example, if you create a video and you record it to yourself, selling yourself to yourself, or selling your goals, selling your dreams, and keep playing that to yourself as well, because then you're working on your subconscious constantly about what it is that you want and what it is you're determined to get and how you're going to get it. And if you record that video and keep playing to yourself, you'll eventually, it'll become normal, rather than you thinking it's something I'm not sure if I can achieve it or not. It just becomes something that you just know you're going to achieve.
Yes, and I find, or I think it's better to talk to yourself about your visions when you're active, like when you're walking or doing something physical. Because if you're sitting down, relaxing, and just saying, "I want to do this," I think it's more impactful if you're energetic and I want to achieve the goal. So either walking, running, or having a shower, something active. I think that
Yeah, I
might
think
help.
they say to, you know, a lot of the top personal development people and that, they say to tie emotion in with the vision. Yeah.
Emotion, yeah, very important, because
Yeah. So
because if
it's
you
sort of
just
like,
say it,
go on.
if you just say it, your body, your mind will just, the other side of your mind will say, you can't do it. You know,
Mm.
it's you have two ends, you know, the angel and the devil. If you say something, I want to do something, the other side, well, that's not going to happen. But if you have emotion, I think emotion gets past the devil part, the bad part, and sticks in
I
your
think
subconscious.
it's a bit like combining the gut feeling with the heart and the brain. It's getting all of you in the same direction rather than just the mind in the one direction, like, you know.
Yeah, because that's we're emotional beings. You know, going back hundreds of thousands of years, it's all about emotions and reaction and feelings.
Yeah.
We didn't have this language or thought process that we have now. So that's our innate way of doing things, is through emotions.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And if you think about something, then you'll think about it. But if you feel it, then you'll do everything you can to make the thoughts you had come true, like, you know, kick into action. So it's that
Yeah,
emotion, you know, that's what, you know, as human beings do crazy things for emotions. You know what I mean?
love is an emotion
For
that.
hate, and for all sorts of things, you know, human beings do. You know, it's emotion that gets you to do the action consistently, like, you know.
Yeah, that's it. The motivation from the emotions. Yeah,
Yeah, so
true.
obviously since the lockdown, I've noticed you shared on social media a few times. You've got more productive with the writing of songs, if you like. So I guess that's because you're not performing them so much in the evenings and the weekends. So now you sat with a pen in hand most of the time.
No keyboard and fingers.
Okay.
Yeah, no, because I have a bit more time and it's quieter. I find I can write better with no distractions. So, but most times when I sit down beside a keyboard, I just come up with something straight away. So I come up with the music first, usually something in my head, or maybe something playing on the piano, and then it becomes straight away. I get focused and my mind gets totally concentrated on that. I could be 3 hours just building up a song, music-wise, having the drums, bass, everything done on the keyboards, and then it's afterwards I put the lyrics to it, try and think of a theme for the song. So yeah, I've a lot more time I had a lot more time to spend just write. I wrote 3 lockdown songs. Stay at Home was one of them. The Corona Blues was another, and what was the other one? COVID. An instrumental called COVID something. So yeah, they just keep coming to me, and happily, I've about 250 songs at this stage now. So it's hopefully one of them will be taken up by some Ed Sheeran type person to
Yeah.
release, and I'll get some residual income from that.
How do people get to find out about the songs, or hear about them, or read them, or how do they engage
Well,
with the songs?
I've 25 songs on SoundCloud. That's where most of the songs are, and then I'm YouTube as well, and they're both under my name, Austin O'Keefe. So you can find out the songs there. They're the main ones on the songs. Yeah, YouTube and SoundCloud.
Okay.
There's
And
another one
if
called
people are
Reverb
interested
Nation.
if people are interested in the nutritional products that you do and all of the other products, the full range, etc., how do they get to find out about them, and how do they get in touch with you there as well?
Uh, well, online, again, Austin O'Keefe. I'm there on my personal page on Facebook. On Twitter, I'm known as AOK Cafe. So AOK Cafe, because it's a feel-good coffee. That's what I call it that. Where else am I? AOK Cafe is also a Facebook business page, and AOK Cafe is also on Instagram, I think. But Austin O'Keefe will get me. Yeah, just my name.
Yeah.
I usually is the best way to connect. And yeah, I mean, as I said, I was skeptical when I heard about it first until I tried it. So I'd love people in the UK to give it a go, to try it and see what they think. I mean, we have a network group, as you know, the Outstanding Network, and I think 8 people have tried it and 7 love the coffee. So that's the normal percentage, about 80% like or love the coffee. So yeah, that's I'm delighted with that. To have that higher percentage for any product, to get that is pretty good. So yeah, I'm hoping to get testimonials is what I want first, sales afterwards. So I want people to feel better. They usually do feel better with the coffee, with the supplements, and to get a feedback from them, to get testimonials is great feeling. And then after that, sales come. So my task and my goal is to get loads of testimonials.
Yeah.
UK, I haven't got anyone at the moment, a regular customer. So yeah, that'll be ideal.
So yeah, and also there's obviously if people want to join the company, they can they? And they can get a discount on their own coffee, or they can make money by recruiting and getting other people involved.
That's the other side of it, yeah. If you do like the coffee and people that might like it, or the supplements, you can earn an income from this. You can earn part-time, or if you get more serious, you can earn a lot of money. It depends. It just could be right for you, or some other company could be right for you, but it's worth trying and seeing. And the thing is, it's not a high risk. If you decide to open your own coffee shop, you probably spend about €100,000 or pounds to set it up. If it's a franchise, if it's your own coffee shop, maybe a little bit less. And then it takes years to get that back. You have to spend 60, 80 hours a week, in the coffee shop, and you've got employees and all the problems with that and all the costs. With this, you can get into the business for about less than £100. And then, and for that, you get the products. So you get the products at cost price, try them out, and then you can build this online. You get your own website, and the website is global. So you can have people in Australia that can order from your website, people in Alaska. It's a worldwide business, global business. And, it can expand as much as you want, depending on what you want. So you're not pressurized either. If you just want to buy the products at a discount, that's what you can do. There's a lot of negativity about network marketing companies and MLM, multi-level marketing. They say, oh, I was forced to do this, and I had to buy such an amount of products, and I had to do this and that, and all the people at the top made the money, and I didn't make any money. The reality is, you're not forced to do anything in most of these companies. It's all free choice, free to buy the products or not, free to do the business or not, free to do as much as you want or as little as you want. And if you work harder than the guys that came in earlier than you can earn more than them. And that's a fact. There's a lot of myths out there about network marketing, and most are not true. Of course, there are bad network marketing companies in that the products are bad, or they don't have products, and that can go towards pyramid schemes where there's no products and you just invest money and get other people to invest money. That's illegal. I've no interest in anything like that. We have real products that are beneficial, that are value for money, and if you like them and you want to do the business, that's up to you, and you can do well out of it. So that's hopefully explained a little bit about the network marketing end of things.
Good. And outside of the business and the music, what else do you like to do with your time?
Well, the languages, I suppose, the Spanish would be, during the lockdowns, I took on more lessons in Spanish, trying to improve that. I have another weird hobby, which is a bit strange for some people, but I have a fascination with religions. From the outside, I'm like a detective. I investigate the main religions out there and see. Well, I don't believe in any religions anyway. It's to see why they are wrong and why people believe in them and what's the real history behind the religions. When the last recession happened,
I got a theory I'll share with you if you like on religion. So I'm atheist as well. I was brought up a Catholic, yeah. And
okay.
My theory is that religion is text, like a bit like early law. Written by kings or whatever, by rulers to keep people in check. That's what my theory is on religion.
Yeah, well, of course, we never know how it started, but I assume that the Stone Age people saw the land around them and the trees and the rivers, and they said, somebody gave us this. It must have been given to us by somebody. So we'll call him this guy God. And oh look, there's thunder. hey, the God must be angry, So they
yeah,
just had to find reasons why things are happening, and that was there. They just made up stories to sort of tell their children. I'm sure kids would ask, Daddy, why is it raining heavy, or why is there a flood? And he'd say, oh, you've been a bold child in the last year, so God is angry at you. So they just had to make reasons for it. And then afterwards, I think, the kings decided to use that religion to control their
yeah. The
dynasty.
intelligent to control the less intelligent, by telling them stories to keep them in check,
And it couldn't be more brilliant that, kings die off every 20, 30 years. But if you have this invisible God that's looking at you and watching you, every dynasty can say, oh, look, the God is well, you have to be good and behave yourself and all this. He's going to put you in hell if you don't watch yourself. So it controls the masses over the generations, even if the kings die out.
Yeah.
It's an excellent way of controlling the social end of the people. Yeah. So,
but my other theory is, or my other strategy is, or the thought process is that all the people who fight over the religion, I think what they're all fighting over is their own Chinese whispered version of the same thing.
yes, yeah, like my God is better than your God. That was the religious wars, the Crusades, and all that. Even though the one God was copied from another God, but it's horrible when you think of it. I mean, there's hundreds of millions of people died fighting for their God. Now, a lot of it could have been political as well, but they were fighting, thinking that their God is behind them. Hundreds of millions died because they saw another God and they didn't like the other God, or they just crazy that all that killing and harm and human rights abuses even today. I won't go into who's doing it and all, but a lot of it's to do with religion, and it's horrible. And my little goal is to expose the fact that the religions are not true, and therefore we don't need all these human rights abuses because that religion is not real. So that's my little part.
Like a paranormal detective, or somebody who detects. You just like to get deep into the subject matter, really, and just listen to the theories and just.
Well, I always, since I was 15, I was always querying, why did this happen in Christianity? That's what I was brought up a Catholic. Why did Jesus die for the cross? Why didn't he just say you're all saved? Why did he have to be nailed to a cross? I mean, what was the point of that? And even today, I still haven't got an answer for that. But I've always been curious about and even I'm just into what's behind the image. Like magicians, I like to find out how they do tricks. So I'm always looking behind the scenes. So
I watched
nearly
loads
every
of programs, with the wrestlers and stuff on a Saturday, where they showed the magicians unveiled or whatever.
Yeah. I love all those. I always want to know how they're. I know a lot of the tricks now, how they're done. So it's great. That's just
sleight of hand. It's the same technique, just used in different ways.
Yeah. No, it's from Houdini days. They've just changed a little bit. Now the card tricks today are amazing. What they can do, the quickness of the hand. They couldn't have that tech.
The way they can some of them can hide a card in their hand, and you just wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, when they show nothing there, and then the card comes, and it's just people shouldn't know this, I suppose, but the card is between their fingers behind them. You can't see it when they're like that. The card is behind that, and then they pull it out. But
it's the same as like pickpocketing and all sorts. If you really hone a skill, pickpocketers, some of them are amazing. They are magicians.
Yeah, if you just practice it enough, like any business or anything at all, keep practicing, and then it'll just come a lot quicker. And I'm amazed. I admire them, not because they're, it's magic. It's because they can make it look like magic. It's fascinating.
Yeah,
the other end is
magic. Magic is real, because if you perfect a skill really well, that's magic.
Yeah, you're creating an illusion, and it's great that you're deceiving people. But magicians will say, listen, it's an illusion. It's not real. But it looks great at the time. It looks fantastic. So I like to go behind the scenes between that and other things, like any other frauds and scams. I'm just interested in all those sort of things, and and catching people. I love when people are
You
caught.
remind me a little bit of the guy, the Irish guy who does a lot of the investigations, Donald McIntyre or whatever.
I don't know him. I must look him up.
Have you come up? He's Irish and he's into all of that, all the investigations and stuff. So I was going to say you're not related to you.
No, but I
Donald
must look him up.
McIntyre, I think.
Yeah, I'll check him up. Although I'm looking all those sort of.
He investigates all sorts of stuff. He does, and yeah.
So I'd like Toto in the Wizard of Oz. That's what I like to think of myself. He pulled the curtain back when this amazing thing was saying, obey me and all this. And Toto runs up, pulls the curtain back, and there's your man fiddling with all the levers and all. So I like to hopefully expose the fraud that's out there.
Yeah,
so.
you just got an inquisitive brain. I got an inquisitive brain as well. So yeah, I probably, I watch a lot of these. I don't believe in UFOs or ghosts or any of these sort of things, really. I'm quite a logical person. But I do believe in the power of the universe.
Yes.
I think the universe is a bit like, the two things I'm most fascinated about is the universe and the brain.
Yeah, and they look like each other. If you look at the brain in microscopic way, it's similar looking to the universe. It's amazing, that.
They're both the things that run everything, as far as I'm concerned. They're the things, in the human being, the brain runs everything, and it's very complex, and we don't really know that much about it yet. It's very undiscovered, territory, if you like. And,
yes, yeah.
And the universe is the same,
I know, and I read a bit of history on that. I mean, 1,000 years ago, they didn't know the brain was the thinking part. They thought the whole body just was our personality, our spirit. And they believed that spirit, when you died, moved on to whatever, heaven or something. But I think the spirit is really the brain, and that's where it's all obviously where it's all happening. So it's only in the last few hundred years they found out the brain is where we actually think. It's mad. But,
I was watching a program the other day, which was about a boy that was born without a brain, but he had a lot of fluid in his brain, and he had a massive head. And he had a little bit of brain that was in the back of his head, I think, and all this fluid took up the rest of his head. So the program was called "The Boy Was Born Without a Brain," and he managed to do amazing things that people just thought he was never going to have this sort of ability in his life, and that's because the brain continued to grow and reproduce, sort of like from nowhere, and from like a tiny seed, if you like, the brain, which they weren't expecting to be anything productive, it actually grew again, and they took another scan of his head years later, and it filled the gap that was empty, so
wow,
it was a real fascinating program.
It is fascinating. DNA is fascinating, that you're programmed to grow into what we are from a sperm and the egg, that you come out like this. It's just fascinating. We probably won't know for a long time, how it all comes about, but it's fascinating. And the astronomy end, from the brain, I'm the same. The universe is amazing, and it's just infinite, and it's just fascinating to keep
mind-boggling, really, when you think about it. They just discovered 200 odd planets, I think, or 200 odd moons or something that have got similar conditions to Earth.
Yeah, I'm sure someday they'll find some sort of life somewhere. It's bound to, because there's hundreds of millions of stars and planets out there. It's bound to happen. The law of averages, there has to be something else out there that has life. So we'll see. We won't see, but our future generation might.
Someone will see. Elon Musk might.
if he's frozen for a few million years.
yeah. But it's great getting you on anyway, and chatting about business, life, and the universe. And thanks for coming on the podcast. I'll leave you to it, because I'm sure you've got plenty more to be doing today.
It's great to be on. Thanks for inviting me on, and we'll chat again. And good luck with your future podcasts.
Yeah, no problem at all. If you want to send me any links to anywhere, your SoundCloud or anything like that, at some point when I'm not busy creating the content so much, I'm going to create a guest section on my website with a link on a profile and a bio and everything of all the people who've been on.
Very good.
My plan is, once I get around my whole network, which I've still got, I probably go 100, 150, 200, episodes before I run out. And then I'll go back around to everyone again and do a deep dive then on something specific, like, rather than a generalistic chat.
I don't think you'll ever run out.
Well,
There'll always be new people to
yes,
that you'll meet
exactly.
and
Yeah, there'll
network.
always be, but I might run out of, because if I keep doing 3, 4, 5 a day, it might thin out a little bit, like, and I might have
Of
to go around
course.
again. But yeah, I will continue to network. I'm on a mission to become a global speaker, and I want to connect with as many people on the planet. So, I do about 8 networking events a week at the moment.
Yes, and maybe you'll get to the universe, someone on Mars or some other life. You can interview them in a few years as well.
Yeah, that'd be good. I just started to get a few people from India and some other countries, but yeah, Mars would be good. Anyone know anyone from Mars? Put them in touch.
Do they need a mentor over there?
Yeah, well, actually, the space station would do to start with. That was his name. That Tim, whatever, from England. He was in the space station for a while, wasn't he? Tim Berners-Lee, something or other. I think his name was.
Yeah, how to get your mindset right while in space, or when you're back on Earth, you might have little issues, mental issues. You need someone to mentor you.
Yeah, definitely. But if you know any networkers in any countries, any far-flung countries, then put them my way, and I can get them on my podcast and on the YouTube channel. But like I say, thanks very much for coming on, and
Thank
have a
you.
great
Thanks,
day.
Mike. All right. Thank you. See you, Mike.
Brilliant. Nothing else left for me to say now other than have a great day. I know I will. And thanks very much for listening.